All right. Oh man, I'm gonna irritate some people today. That's gonna happen. Here's the deal. Receiving Christ in the Eucharist in the hand is definitely Hey, what's up my people? Welcome back. Welcome back. So very glad you're here. Hope you are having a fantastic day. I will tell you, it is an amazing day. And I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but the hummingbirds are everywhere. A lot of that's because we got a multitude of flowers blooming. Yes, it is true. April showers bring May flowers, which is why I'm sitting where I'm sitting, because it has been raining on and off today. But we're gonna make a video anyways. We're gonna make a video because we didn't last week, and because I really want to, and because it's fun, and because we're gonna talk about a controversial subject. Yes, we are. And by the end of the video, I imagine two things are gonna happen. One, if you're brand new to this whole world of Catholic stuff, I hope that, if nothing else, you understand the deep reverence that Catholics have for the Eucharist. And two, the other thing that I think is gonna happen by the end of this video is I think the comment section is gonna blow up, because we're gonna have us a little debate, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. I'm actually legitimately looking forward to it because I love the conversations that happen in the comment section. It's fantastic. Speaking of the comment section, if you have not already, that was a decent transition. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, do all the algorithm things. Help this channel grow so that we can help as many people grow in their faith as possible, and so that we can continue to get the beauty of the Catholic faith out there into the world for all of those people who are interested, curious, pursuing new knowledge about the Catholic faith. Like, subscribe, do all those things. And today's video is brought to you by, yes, GarrettHeinz.com. Go there, if you will, and let me know what kind of icon you would like to commission for you, your family, your priest, your parish, somebody you know and love. Go to GarrettHeinz.com and shoot me a message. Let me know what kind of icon you'd like to commission from the studio. All right, all of those magical things having been done, let's talk about today's topic. And I want to talk about how to receive Christ in the Eucharist. Now, I want to be very careful up front. Super important. The church teaches that it is acceptable to receive the Eucharist either on the tongue or in the hand, and both methods, procedures, ways of doing are acceptable within the Catholic Church. And I'm going to put that caveat right at the beginning of the video, because everything that I'm going to say after that might get me in trouble with some people. All right, anyways, it's very important. What I am going to say here today does not mean that one way or the other is wrong, okay? Please hear me when I say that. I'm not saying that if you receive the Eucharist in the hand, you're doing something wrong. That is not, at any point today, what I'm trying to say. It's a lovely rhyme. But here's the deal. I believe how we do things as Catholics matters. How we approach the sacraments and the sacramentals in the church is important. And I'm not saying, let me do this different. I do not think it is a good idea, I do not think it is best practice to receive Christ in the Eucharist in the hand. I think the best method is to receive Christ in the Eucharist on the tongue. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of reasons why. And I'll say it again because it needs to be repeated. I'm not saying that if you receive Christ in the hand, you're doing something wrong. A lot of my rad trad friends would tell you that they do think that the church shouldn't allow people to receive in the hand. And I understand that point of view. I'm not saying that. My point is, I don't think it's best practice. Because what we do with our bodies impacts what happens in our soul. And I think there are some things that happen in our soul when we receive Christ in the Eucharist in the hand. You know, this is particularly poignant for me because this next weekend, my daughter is receiving Christ in the Eucharist for the very first time. And I can't wait. She is so excited. And all she keeps saying is, I can't wait to receive Jesus. What a great, beautiful thing. What a great and beautiful thing. And if you're a Protestant and you don't get that, my heart hurts for you, because receiving Christ in the Eucharist is one of the greatest gifts you can ever get as a human being. And I think how we approach that matters. I think it matters that we receive Christ on the tongue from an ordained person. I am not touching the Extraordinary Ministers of Holy Communion topic today. That's for another time. But I think how we receive Him matters. And here's why I think it matters. Let me give you some context for that statement. God created the world. In case you didn't know. God created the world, and in that world, He gave it a certain order. Okay? He gave it a certain order. There are things that happen in a certain way for the good of creation. Okay? One of the things that God set into order is the masculine and the feminine. Both beautiful, both necessary, both equally good, both equally important. Please hear that. But in this order that God has created in all of creation, there is a masculine and there is a feminine. The masculine gives, the feminine receives. Okay? That's really, really important. The masculine gives, the feminine receives. I've got a whole bunch of plants over there right now growing and producing flowers. Some of those flowers are masculine, some of those flowers are feminine. Some of those flowers give the pollen, some of the flowers receive the pollen. We could go on and on with that topic. The point is, for the vast majority of creation, the masculine gives and the feminine receives. Now, if we apply that to the church, Christ, God, is the masculine, the church is the feminine. Now, some of my wonderful, beautiful, woke people might actually watch this and they'll say, God has no gender. Fair enough. Okay, that's beside the point. God chooses to present Himself in the Scriptures as the Father, the masculine. Christ took masculine form. Okay? God is the masculine, the church is the feminine. God gives, the church receives. Okay? The problem with receiving in the hand is that when we go up to the priest or the deacon and we choose to receive Christ in the hand, we are saying, I am now the masculine and the feminine. I will give to myself. That is a tremendous problem, because we cannot give to ourselves the body of Christ. And that momentary pause of the priest giving, we take and give to ourselves, now subverts God's design for the church. And I will say it again. I am not saying that it's wrong. I'm saying it's not best practice. It's not a good idea. We shouldn't be attempting to feed ourselves. We shouldn't be attempting to interrupt the beautiful moment where God, where Christ in persona Christi through the priest gives to us. All we are asked to do is in humility receive. We are asked to receive. And it breaks my heart to see every Sunday a multitude of people walk up and say, no, I will not receive from you. I will only receive from myself. because that's what we're doing. And the problem is, I think most Catholics don't even realize it. They don't even think about what they're doing. They just know it's allowed, and maybe I feel more comfortable. Maybe it's a little uncomfortable to receive on the tongue from the priest, and I don't want to be uncomfortable in my postmodern Christianity. So I will feed myself. And that's not good for the soul, because it removes the beauty of humility. I cannot feed myself. I cannot sustain myself. I need God to feed me. I need God to sustain me. I need God to give, and all I am asked to do is receive. That's the biggest hang up I have with this whole in the hand way of receiving Christ. And then there's even the little practical things. Okay, you've received Christ in the hand. Now you have Christ on your hands. And now you're just going to go out in the world and touch Christ to all the things. There's a reason that the priest washes his hands when he's finished giving the Eucharist. It's a part of the liturgy. Placing Christ into water that is then consumed so that the body and blood of Christ, which is in particulate on my hands, is not touching all of the broken world. There's a reason we do things. There's a reason that God set these things in motion in this way on purpose. We are meant to just humbly receive. We are not meant to stand in the place of Christ and feed ourselves. You know, it's really, really neat. I was blessed with the opportunity to be a confirmation sponsor for a high school student a couple years ago. And the student and I had this conversation. And the student had been receiving Christ in the hand their entire life. And we just had this kind of dialogue about the masculine and the feminine, the way God created things to work. And the student went on to start receiving Christ on the tongue instead of in the hand, and came back to me and was like, Mr. Hines, I don't think you know what you did. This way of receiving blows my mind, and it opens me up to greater relationship with Christ because I stepped up in humility to just receive. And that was really cool, man. So that's what I would do. That's what I would challenge you. If you are a Catholic who regularly attends Mass and you receive Christ in the hand, give it a month. Give it 4 Sundays. Give it 4 Sundays. Receive Christ on the tongue. Get past your own discomfort with the idea. Submit in humility and allow Christ to feed you rather than you feed yourself. And see if it doesn't change the Blast the camera, ran out of storage space. I need a bigger SD card. Anyways, do that. Receive Christ on the tongue at Mass. Submit in humility and let Christ nourish you. And see if it doesn't change your relationship with Christ when you realize you can't feed yourself. It's just not the same. And for the last time, I will say it once more. I'm not saying if you receive in the hand you're doing something wrong. I am saying I think it's bad practice. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea to stand before Christ and say, no thanks, I'll feed myself. That's an uncomfortable thought to me. So I challenge you, if you're receiving Christ in the hand, give it a shot. Give it 4 Sundays. See if your spirit doesn't move closer to Christ when you receive in humility. Yeah, I'm going to stop right there because I think everything after that's just rambling. It's a beautiful day. Hope you have a beautiful day. Until I see you next time, keep climbing.